Gather up your projects, settle in your favorite spot. It's time to stitch with Sarah at her stitchy Camelot. Let's celebrate each other, this community we've got. It's time to get down to Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hello everyone, my name is Sarah. Welcome to my FlossTube channel, where we will discuss and celebrate all things cross-stitch. Grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and join me
at Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and this is FlossTube number 49. It is May 22nd, 2024. I would like to take this moment to welcome each and every one of you to my FlossTube channel. As I do at the beginning of every video, I want to send love, hugs, and kisses to my husband Stan for writing and performing the song that you just heard. For my new viewers today, welcome. I hope you will like what you see, that you will share, ring the bell, subscribe, and do all the things that we do on FlossTube. For my returning viewers and subscribers, I am so glad to see you again. It is always a highlight of my week to spend this time with you. So get comfortable and get your stitching, and let's share some time together. I have a lot to go over today. My life has been just a bit different. Our lives have been just a bit different with the introduction of Sweet Annie, which is our new rescue puppy. She turned 1 on May the 10th. And she is still a sweet, just a cuddle buddy. We've had a couple of hiccups, as you would, a few things chewed here and there that maybe shouldn't have been, but nothing out of the ordinary, and nothing that you wouldn't expect with a new puppy in a new environment. So we're taking lots of walks and enjoying our time with her. And as the time goes by, we will all settle into our new normal. But I have noticed maybe just a little bit less time for stitching and more time spent working with Annie. That is time well spent. So again, thank you all for the warm welcome. I have several things that I want to go through today. I want to start with the giveaway. If you remember, 2 videos ago, I offered as a giveaway the pattern Blackbird by Blackbird Designs. This was given to me for all of you by Laureen at Stitcherelle on Instagram, and the winner was Cheryl Middleton. I'll run that below, 2442. And Cheryl, I haven't heard from you, so I'm going to give it one more week. And if you haven't emailed me your address so that Laureen can mail this to you, we will choose another name that used the word Blackbird in that particular video. Laureen graciously has offered another chart for you guys, which I just think is very sweet of her. And this is Miss Hazel by Stacy Nash. And it's one of the Cracker Barrel pieces. And they have been all over social media, and they are so cute. And in fact, I think I did show one last time that was fully finished. So I'm going to ask you if you are interested in having Miss Hazel by Stacy Nash, if you will use the word squirrel, SQUIRREL, in your comment below. Then I will select one of those and let you know next time who will be the beneficiary of that chart. And Laureen, I really want to thank you for thinking of me, and through that thinking of all of you to have a chance to stitch these charts. So that was one piece of business I wanted to take care of. I also wanted to let Christine know that I did recheck Eddie and Patsy, and then I had Stan help me recheck Eddie and Patsy. She was concerned that where I had put that where I had started it on my piece of fabric, I might run out of room. And I did a basting line, and I do think I'm okay. So that's 3 or 4 checks that I've had on that. But listen, you know, guys, and you guys know me, you cannot, please don't ever hesitate to let me know if you think something looks amiss, especially before I get too far into it. So thank you, Christine, for that. I'm feeling 99.9% assured that everything is going to come out all right on that chart that I'm enjoying stitching. So, and then Deborah had asked me about doing a frayed edge on whatever you're sewing on. I went to get a piece of Aida. I don't have any Aida in my house. I think I've given it all to my oldest daughter or given it away. But I did want to show you, these were just little ornaments that I stitched, oh my goodness, before the pandemic. And if you can see, I have frayed the edges. And all that really means, Deborah, is that you can pull these threads. You see how that separates there? And you just pull them out, and they'll just come out. And then you do it the same thing on this, and you can decide how long you want your fringe to be. And I know that's not a really good description of that, but these were just 2 little ornaments that I don't even know where I found them. But I think I had planned at one time to put them in Christmas cards. But it's just a matter of just pulling these threads. I did bring a piece of linen up. And if you could see, you see how you just pull those like that? Okay. And then you can pull them this way, and you just kind of tease it out. And then you usually want to do them kind of one at a time. I grabbed a whole big, but you can see just by pulling those that I have started this fringe, and this isn't even, and you would want to even that up. There's probably ways, and I will ask all of you to help Deborah as well, if you know of any, or if you have any tips on using a frayed edge as a finishing technique. I knew I was okay on these because I did have the, a row of stitching all the way around that it wouldn't come out. But you do want to make sure that something is anchoring those frayed edges where they're closest to the fabric. So I've still got that upside down. I have that problem, don't I? Anyway, so that is that was for Deborah. And then Deborah, we'll see what comes up in the comments, and maybe we can get some more help for you. Or if you had another specific question about that, if you'll let me know in the comments, we'll all do our best to get an answer for you. So that took care of the 2 things that I wanted to let you know as far as comments. I also wanted to let you know, we talked about the hashtag Sal for Geertje. That is our friend Geertje, I think it's Geertje, in the Netherlands. Geertje has been diagnosed with ALS. She has been a incredible supporter, and her kindness towards my FlossTube channel when I started just knew no bounds. And Joanita of Stitchy Things has started a sal for her. And the hashtag is, I'll run it across the bottom, is Sal for Geertje. And Geertje sent me an article on speculoos cookies, which was just fascinating because I was talking about the piece of fabric that I'm using on that piece is called Speculoos by Roxy Flossco. And it is a spiced cookie. It was generally made in a mold, and it was around St. Nicholas Day, and it was just a real treat. But these molds were usually made of apple wood. And anyway, I just want to thank you, Geertje, for sending that article to me. I found it fascinating. The recipe was also there as well if I ever wanted to give that a try. So thank you so much for sending that to me. Okay, so I want to, I think we'll go into shares right now. And so let's get started on that. All right. So my first one, I have two from Deborah. And the first one is Tapestry Stitches. And it's on a 36 count alabaster by R&R. And she used the called for silks. And the text was stitched 1/1. The next piece that I will show by Deborah is Vintage Grapes. This was stitched on a 40 count raw linen by Fox and Rabbit. She did 1/2 with the called for DMC, and the initials in the top left corner were 1/1 on 40 count. So congratulations, Deborah, on those gorgeous pieces, and thank you for letting me share them with everyone. My next set is from Desiree, and she sent in 3 pieces for me to share with you. And the first one is 324, and I know so many of you have seen this stitched. This is the piece by Works by ABC, and it uses all 324 colors of DMC, and she stitched it on a 36 count with obviously the call for DMC. Her next piece is Little Deeds, and this is by the Scarlet House. She stitched this on a 32 count cocoa with the called for floss, and she changed the people to be holding hands, which I thought was very sweet. And the final piece is Patriotic Petunias, and this is by Sweet Wings Studio in conjunction with Farmer's Attic, and that chart was found on Etsy. She stitched it on a 32 count fabric flare Americana stars, and she used DMC and Weeks Dye Works threads. So there's a little patriotic inspiration as we are heading into that season. Thank you, Desiree, for sending those. I really do appreciate it. The next one, the last two are both Linda's. The first Linda sent in Holiday Hound, and that is by Heart and Hand. She stitched it on a 30 count gray, 2/2, and she used Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Arts, and DMC. And then she put her own border on, which she used the Weeks Dye Work in the color Seaweed. She was gifted the entire project, chart, fabric, and threads by a woman who worked at her local needlework store. So that's a kindness, and I hope everyone enjoys seeing what she did with that lovely gift. And then the last one is also a Linda, and Linda sent her fully finish of 2 pieces, and these are, the first one is Maria Vincenza Aricia, I think, by Hands Across the Sea. These were first for her, both pieces. She stitched on 40 count, 1/2. She used the called for DMC, and I love this piece so much. When I start thinking about another big red sampler, this is definitely one that comes to mind. Her second piece is Dreaming Frida by Barbara Anna Designs, and she stitched this on a 32 count vintage country mocha with DMC, and these were both pieces were professionally framed. So I want to thank all of you for today for sending those in. They're inspiring, and it's always fun to celebrate everyone's stitching on this channel. So thank you so much for that. So those are our shares for the week. I had a little share that I wanted to show you, which was so touching. I got an email from Molly. If you remember, Molly is my grandchild. They sent me a text on Sunday saying that their father had found a stitched piece in the garage that belonged to Molly. And I'm going to run that across here. And It's a piece that I stitched for Molly when she was born. If you blow it up, or if it shows up better on the screen, it says "A Star is Born." I don't remember I don't know what booklet. I remember that distinctly that it was a booklet, and but I don't remember anything about it. I know it was. I think you use 3 to 6 strands of DMC when you stitch those pieces, and each block is pretty much full coverage. But guys, this is kind of what our stitching is all about, because Molly, who has been to the house several times since I've retired and has seen how much I love stitching, she now has this visual piece that that she's put up on her wall. You will have seen that photograph of something that I did for her in anticipation of her birth, and I think that that's a wonderful thing we have the ability to do, is to do these pieces, and I just was so lucky to get to see and feel her excitement at being reunited with this piece. So that's my share today. It was one of those Afghans that we could stitch on, and so many of us did them back in the 80s and 90s. So I wanted to share that with you. And Molly, thank you so much for letting me know that the two of you are back together, my stitch piece with you. So that was my share for today. Now, I do want to do I want to talk about some things that I've seen on FlossTube channels. And I must start this with, I don't even have words. I wrote in the comments, I will run out of superlatives before this online course is complete. But Nicola Parkman of Hands Across the Sea has started an online stitching academy, and it's called Mrs. Parkman's Academy of Needlework. She has a free chart that you can download, and then each week she is putting up videos. I mean, literally starting at the beginning of preparing your fabric, your threads, everything. And she's going to go through that. She will go through showing us how to do various specialty stitches, how to cross stitch, how to pin stitch. It is going to all be there. And I watched the very first one, which was preparing your fabric. And I thought there's probably going to be very little that because I've been stitching for years. And oh, no. Nicola, just in the first one, you taught me so much. And one of those things that we're going to discuss in one of my works in progress. But please, I cannot imagine that you might not watch Nicola, but do not miss this incredible opportunity. It is a gift that she is giving us. I know how much her heart is into it. And Nicola, I just personally, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to give us this amazing gift. So guys, please check that out, okay? Next, I wanted to mention that Erinn and Eric, Alex, and Amity. Eric, I'm going to get this all confused. Alex is on Instagram, and I will run her Instagram address. Erinn and Amity are the Hathaway Stitchers. Again, if you're not watching them, you should be. They are just a delight. But they have started a, oh my goodness, they have put up a Instagram location where they are collating and the stitch-alongs that we have. I am really having trouble using my words. They are, so they're gathering that together, and you can go to that site, which is at cross-stitch_Salender, and I will have that run across the bottom. That's SALENDAR. I think this was an incredible idea, and I wanted to thank them for it, for doing that. I did notice that they do have the hashtag BBD Magical Mystery Tour Sal, and they give a brief description. So if any of you are starting stitch-alongs, you can contact them and give them the information, and they will add it to that site. And so I just personally wanted to thank you guys for doing that. I think it was brilliant. I think they're all involved in it, Alex, Erinn, and Amity, in their own ways. And so thank you guys for doing that. I also wanted to give a big thank you to Audrey of Stitch Stitch Bead. Audrey stepped in and gave me some tips about doing a Mill Hill kit when I expressed in my last one that I hope to start one very soon, because I was gifted 3 beautiful kits from Anita. So Audrey, I love your floss tube, and again, this is she has a floss tube that's not to be missed. She has beautiful stitching, and so thank you, Audrey, for giving me that tip. All right, let's see where we are. Okay, I think I will show you my new start and my finish, my fully finished object, and then we'll do the whips. Okay, so let's dive into that. All right, my fully finished, I get so excited, is Eleanor Rigby. I put this kind of newspaper print, grungy looking. I got this at a thrift store, and yes, there is supposed to be a heart there. See, sometimes you get too excited about things. I think when I actually knew that I had put the 1/1 for Eleanor in there, that I dropped my needle and ran to the sewing machine. But anyway, it's symmetrical, and it will do. And I did put the Licorice Lady Dot Chanel. This was stitched on a 40 count. Ancient by Picture This Plus, and I used the called for overdyed floss. So this is my, actually in the Beetle series, this is my second finish. I had finished Blackbird previously, so now I have got Eleanor Rigby done. I will be doing, I'm still working on Strawberry Fields, and I'll be choosing which of the next 3 to be starting pretty soon, of Octopus Garden, Yellow Submarine, or The Long and Winding Road. So anyway, one more look. I just love it. So that is Eleanor Rigby by Blackbird Designs. Then my new start is, speaking of, is I started this Mill Hill kit from Anita that was gifted. It was my happy mail last time. And this is, I just started it this morning, and this is what I've gotten done so far. So this is just a tent stitch, half stitch, and I got the snowflakes beaded. There's a little snowflake charm that'll go right there, and then I got the beads here. So I think you can see that. So I'm very excited. They're really fun. They're really a lot of fun. So I'm hoping this will be my May ornament finish, and I will have so far stayed caught up and have 5 ornaments already ready for my Christmas tree in December. So that is the Mill Hill, and it's called Charmed Stocking Ornaments. So that was my new start since I have seen you last. Okay, I think what we'll do is let's do the whips. Oh, know what? Let's discuss my little problem. So as I mentioned, we talked about Mrs. Parkman's Academy of Needlework. And when she was talking about preparing your fabric, she discussed, looking at it. I don't want to go into it because she explains it and I want you to do it. But just, a good visual inspection of your fabric before you start. So as you all know, this was one of my works in progress this time. I am working on Anne Campion. I had been a little frightened because of these two alphabets are 1/1. I'm stitching on the 36 count. It is Wood Smoke by Tabby Cat. And I had gotten, I finished these rows. Well, I'll show you what I've done. So here is, I have finished this, and this, I think. I don't think this goes any further. Well, we can look, can't we? Yeah, it does. It does. So I still have a little of this border right here to bring across. But I had gone down because I had started that A, B, and part of C is 1/1. I selected the 103 in black to do that in. The called for threads for this are soie. So it's all looking really wonderful. But here's what I'm very concerned about. I don't know if you can see it, but on this piece of fabric, and it looks so small, but there is a schlub right here that I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to avoid. And I don't know what to do because I mean, I've never taken one out, but can you see it's pretty big. It's very close to being at the bottom of these. And it might just work. But it's just put a little damper on this for me because I was hoping to be able to take this with me to for the Love of Stitches this Saturday, but we are going to be, and let Angie look at it, or some of the more experienced stitchers there. Vince and David and Eva are coming up for Memorial Day weekend, so I won't be able to go to the Sacramento meetup. So I'm putting it out there. I don't know if it's if I'm going to have to start it over, or Nicola did mention that sometimes those can be removed, but she also said sometimes they can be removed and leave a hole in the fabric. So we'll see. Now you guys know me. I roll with the punches. So if I have to do it again, I will do it again. But it may be a big lesson to me as far as looking at my fabric closer. I do know that I have run across schlubs like that when I'm stitching 1/2, and the stitches may look a little fatter, but I don't know how a 1/1 stitch could handle that and look normal. So I'm really looking forward to hearing from all of you on what you think. So that is my first whip, which is Anne Campion by Hands Across the Sea. So we'll go ahead and start diving into the laundry basket, and let's go. All right. Well, no, let's don't go. Let's look at my book. So this is, you can see my stitching. I usually average maybe 2 to 3 pieces a day. And my little stickers. Okay, now, what? Oh, I got out a oldie but a goodie, and again, I had lots of fun with it, and that's Anniversaries of the Heart. So I am actually working on this piece. This is April's, and almost have finished it. I am also still working on the 1/1 right here. So I do some work on that, and then I come over to Pink Hill Manor. Okay, so I am stitching this on a 36 count Old Town Blend by R&R. I'm using the called for over dyed floss, and this is what I have so far. And so if you can see right here, I just have the NESS for that 1/1. Not the best, but this I started, you know, a long time ago when I hadn't watched as many videos, and I hadn't gotten that familiarity with 1/1 stitching. And I do think that concentrating on those pieces of the 25 count is just giving me the confidence to continue to work on these. And then this is the piece here for Pink Hill Manor. So I got all of this done down in here. I got the two, are those rabbits? Birds, the two birds done here. And I put that basket in. I did this flower. I did quite a bit, all these little doodads right there. So this is what I've gotten so far. And I don't want to stay away from it. I'm trying to show as much of it as I can. So that is Anniversaries of the Heart by Blackbird. I do have all the charts already. And I'm really enjoying it, and I'm not so scared of it because I have, like I said, I have built up some confidence with the 1/1. Okay, so the next piece is Courage by Cottage Garden Samplings. This was started for hashtag Pam Survival Sal, Pam of Just Keep Stitching. 30 years cancer-free, and I'm doing it for a friend who did have a recurrence of her breast cancer. She is also doing very well, and I am stitching this on a 36 count hog bristle by Fox and Rabbit, and I'm using the called for over dyed floss. And I did get to start on a new flower, so I have started this in here, and I worked on some of the greenery down here. It is so gorgeous. Oh, I just love these so much. And I love that I'm going to get to work with these different colors now in the reds and pinks. It's something that I enjoy stitching very much, but very stitch heavy. So that is Courage by Cottage Garden Samplings. And I plan to make that into a pillow for my friend. Okay, the next whip is, I'm going to pull this just a little closer. We had a 13th since I saw you last, and so I pulled out Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. And I am stitching this on a 36 count Endora by Needle and Flax, and I'm using Vicki Clayton Silks. And let's see what we got done. I think we got some birds completed. We're starting another bird here. Every once in a while, there's going to be a doodad put on the border. And some of these little doodads in here that I got done. So that is Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. It's not very big. I mean, you can see that it's just, there's a little bit of a house there that I've got to do, but I don't really have that much stitching left to do on that. So, okay. The next whip is, this is my, what I selected for my 2 threads a day stitch, and that is Summer at Cherry Hill. So this works out perfectly because of summer, and I love that. I have always loved this piece. I saw this piece stitched at Tanya's of the Scarlet House, and it has always been a favorite of mine. And this is by Brenda Gervais, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So I am stitching this on a 36 count Stars Hollow Blend by R&R, and I'm using the called for overdyed floss. And this is what's happened. So I took all the letters down. I have put in all of this. The tree is completely done. I wanted to get that tree completely done because it was on a page break, and to try to minimize a mistake. So, so all of this here on this side of the tree is new. This is new, and then the completed tree. You can see I have the dangling threads, and that is a bee. And there, and I left them because if you look at the chart, there's a lot of them. So I will be using those threads again. So they're left. I can't wait to get her skirt done, to dive down into these flowers, the grass. I love this piece. And I know that I'm going to see a finish on it sooner than later because of doing the 2 threads a day. Okay. So that is, I just found this dark thread on my fabric, and it looked, when it was on the fabric, it looked just like a pen mark, but it isn't. It's a thread. Okay, and it is in this beautiful bag from that Lorraine, it was Happy Mail, Lorraine sent me. Look at that, with the handle. Oh, I just love it, Lorraine. Thank you so much. Very summertime bag for a summery project. Okay, next. Oh, this, I pulled this out, and I'm just gonna, try to stick threads in it. Not every day, but I was so inspired because I saw the finish by Trisha of Preb 409, and that is a parlor pincushion by Needlework Press. And this was a piece that we got at Sampler Symposium, and that would have been 2023. And I am doing mine on the darker fabric so that I don't have to stitch that all in. And it's a 32 count chestnut. I am stitching it 1/2 with the, we got the thread, we've got all the finishing materials, and let's see if I can tell which is top and bottom. I think this is, so this is what I've gotten done so far. So it's just beautiful. And Trisha's looked so gorgeous. I think Trisha did the where she stitched all the background. But it's crazy not to get that all done. So that is a parlor pincushion by Needlework Press. And it's really just fun to pick up and put a thread in every now and then. Okay, and then next we have, what do we have here? Oh, this is kind of what I'm doing on Thursdays now since I finished Mary, and that is Angel Armel. I'm going to call her Angel. 1907 by Maximum Cross Stitch. Dear Ellen. I am so anxious to get all this done because I really want to get down into those letters. They're just amazing. And I'm stitching it on a 36 count Heartland by Picture This Plus, and I'm using Gloriana Hollyberry in the silk. So I think last time I probably had this, so I got these hearts, I got her name in, I did a little more border work, I got these little doodads in here. So, I'm getting close to the fun stuff. But I do want to get that all the way across and first. So it is a wonderful chart, so easy to read, so wonderful to work off of. And so that is Angel Armel, 1907. Okay. And that is in a project bag from Sarah of Sew Me Sarah. Okay, my next is my focus piece, and that is Chester's Place, and that is from the Whistle Stop Stitcher Designs. My plan is to get this all done. I'm going to leave these out. I'm going to put Chester's name across there, as one of you sent me one that you had seen that had the dog's name. And then, oh, I'm going to forget who wrote that, but I completely agree. Somewhere I'm going to put a little brown dog on here that that represents Annie. And I thought that was such a sweet idea. So I'm stitching this on a 36 count Erinn by Picture This Plus. I'm using the called for over-dyed floss. So I've gotten all the red in the house, and all I have to do is finish putting the black in the windows. I got this done. I have been bringing the border all the way around it. I'm pretty sure it's going to match. I kind of did some checking. I started this grass right in here, and what I want to do is get to where I can calculate exactly how much space I have down there, and then pick an alphabet, a font. And I also need to finish this right here. I've got to remember to finish that. But that is Chester's Place by Whistle Stop Stitcher Designs, which is my focus piece, which means it gets 7 days out of the month until it's completed. It was a brilliant idea that I got from Karen, the recovering monogamous stitcher, and it has stood me well. I have gotten quite a few finishes done since I started doing that. Okay, next we have Strawberry Fields Forever by Blackbird Designs. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. I think I've sort of hinted at it, but I do my 2 threads a day first thing in the morning. Then I pick a piece and I usually stitch the rest of the morning and then most of the afternoon. I have found myself coming back around 5:30 until about 7 in either working on this or the Summer Sampler by Twin Peak Primitives that is from the Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine, because I enjoy doing the 1/1 on 25 count so much. And I want to get this done as well. But so I am here, and as you guys know, I know for those of you who are new, I had done this in a DMC, and the contrast was not very good. And then I actually found the actual grasshopper that is called for, and I had no intention of ripping it out, but when I saw I did. So, and I'm very happy about it. So I've started the brickwork down here. The vase is finished. I've come across with the house, starting to put the windows in. I must have done I got this bird, something I did wrong because I'm 1 stitch bigger there than I should have been, but I think it's going to be okay. So that is Strawberry Fields Forever, 1/1. It is on 25 count Lugana, called Rugged Rochester by Those Missing Stitches. I love it. I just love it. It's so cute and little. So, and that is for the hashtag BBD Magical Mystery Tour Sal that Peg Page and I are hosting. And then there is also the hashtag Fab4 Fan Sal that's being hosted by Julie and Stitches and Stephanie and Allison of Cross Stitch the Globe. So you've got 2 places to post your work. All right. The next piece is Tirce and Girce by Modern Folk Embroidery. I started this at Stitch North. I'm stitching it on the 36 count speculoos. and I am using the called for DMC. And this is for hashtag Sal for Gerchi. And it is a big piece of fabric, and it needs to be. And so here is my progress. So the first 2 rows are completely done. There are some ghosted elements. And then now I've started on this bigger alphabet right there, the 3rd row. And I just love it. I love it. I love working on it. It's going to be great fun. I love the colors. It's just, and Gertrude said that the colors in this were very similar to the colors in her, she is going to be moving into more specialized housing, and they're getting it all redone for her, and those are going to be the colors that are in her house. So that's very exciting as well. Okay, and then finally, but not finally, I worked on Red Deer Sampler by GGR. And Karen, recovering monogamous stitcher, if you watch her latest, she got this back framed. It's just amazing. So I encourage you to go take a look at that, because it is just exquisite. I'm stitching this on 36 count 1001 Nights by XU Designs, and I'm using the Vicki Clayton silks. And let's see, what did I do this time? I know it's all primarily down in this area here. I think I put this other leaf in. I finished the flower, so that flower pot is almost done. I still need to do the stitching in here. This flower is kind of hard to see, but it's kind of multicolored. It's so cool. And it will have one over here as well. I always put at least 1 to 2 flowers in the border, and a thread or 2 in the Red Deer. But as with everyone, I want to get to that big base in the middle. So I wish we had forever to stitch. So that is the Red Deer Sampler by GGR. And those are my works in progress. So not too bad for having a new puppy, right? Okay. So now, what have we got here? I don't even know what this is. Oh, I know. Okay. So I did have a piece of Happy Mail, and then I wanted to talk about a couple of other things. I got a beautiful early birthday card from Teresa of Jersey Stitch Co., Jersey Girl Stitch Co. And I did notice that they had, I just got their newsletter, and she has some beautiful patriotic decorative pins just ready for you to purchase and put up for the summer holidays. But Teresa is a very dear, kind person, and she has she's been really dear to me. And so thank you, Teresa, for sending that. I will cherish it. But speaking of birthdays, I mentioned last time that I wanted to do, or that Judy, Stitching Bunny, and I are going to do a Sal for our birthdays. It's hashtag 2 birthday girls. I just want to make sure that's right. 2 birthday girls, right. And we are going to start Florence Mary Dickinson by Hands Across the Sea. And speaking of this, please go and look on Instagram at Trend Kitty. I'll run that below. Katherine of Stitching in Costume has finished this, and it was just stunning. And it so inspires me, and I can't wait. Judy and I are exactly 1 week apart. I was born June 20th. Judy was born June 27th. I did notice that Judy has just put up a video, so we can go and check out her beautiful stitching. And Holly of Hobbies of Holly, her birthday is June 25th. So we're not the same age. She's just a child. But so our plan is to start this on June 24th. I was just kind of splitting the difference between Judy and I's birthdays. And you know, obviously there's no hard and fast rules. If there's another hands across the sea, whatever you want to stitch, but I would love for you guys to come and celebrate with Judy and I our birthdays that are just a week apart, and Holly's and anyone else that's also in June. Let's just make that our birthday month. So I will keep mentioning this until the time comes, and like I said, the plan will be to start that on June 24th. I'm pretty sure I'm going to stitch this with the call for DMC, and I haven't made a selection on the fabric yet. So that's my biggest June plan. For the rest of May, I want to finish my Mill Hill so that I have a 5th ornament for the 12 and 24 ornament stitch along, hosted by Caroling 5555. I think it's just 55. I'll run it across. Oh my goodness, do I have a brain? I don't know. I just want to get in a couple of new starts. I want to get some work on some of my other samplers. I am contemplating July pretty much being just heavily Christmas stitching. I have some pieces that I had started Christmas delivery by Cottage Garden Samplings, any more of the Prairie Schooler Santas. I had a Teresa Kogut Santa started, and I would really like to give them some intense work. Sometimes it's hard for me not to stitch on my other things and just dedicate a month to Christmas stitching, but I may come as close to that as I can, because I really would like to have those for this Christmas, and I have been working on them for quite some time. So let's see. I want to check my notes and make sure. Oh! And the other thing, you guys all go check out Sheri at Colorado Cross Stitcher. She is going to do a stitch camp, and that's hashtag Cross Stitch Camp 2024. I want you to go and watch and see this brilliant idea that she has, at least for the month of June. So I will probably try to sneak in a start on that as well. And her idea for that, using color, because she has given us a lot of guidance talking about warm and cool colors. And so she's got some incredible ideas for us to sort of practice those skills. So Sheri at Colorado Cross Stitcher, don't forget that, because Stitch Camp will happen, and that will be in June, July, and August. But I think, let's just keep looking just to make sure. So you know about the giveaway, which will be Miss Hazel. The word will be squirrel. Please be over 18 so I can get your address. Don't use words like giveaway, prize, free. Don't do any of that. Laureen will, I will send your address to Laureen, and she will mail that to you. And she has said she would do it anywhere in the world. Thank you, Laureen. That is very kind and gracious. And Cheryl Middleton. You did win the Blackbird design. If I don't hear from you by my next video, we will pick another name. So my email address is in the drop-down box below. So yeah, let me hear from you, and we will get that off to you. So if you were new to my station, and you liked what you saw, I hope you will subscribe and ring the bell and share and like and do all the things that we do on FlossTube. For all of you that continue to return, I thank you, and please know I don't take anything for granted with any of you. I love our time together. It is very precious to me. And I want it to go on and on as long as we can go, right? So I think I've covered everything on the table. So I'm going to ask you to grab your stitching, get comfortable, and stitch what you love. I love each and every one of you. Bye-bye. Until we meet again.
You want the sausage? No, no, no. No, no, no. You want this sausage?